Hi everyone, so welcome to this webinar with Consolidated Travel Group, Qantas and Travelport. So if you can hear me, everyone on the call, if you can please make a comment in the chat box, then we can see if you can hear us. Perfect. Perfect. I've got a lot of messages coming through that you can hear, which is great. So today we have Olivia on the call from Consolidated Travel Group. We have Fiona and Amina from Travelport and myself, Thomas, from Qantas. And we will run through a bit of a webinar and some live demos on the NDC to make it easier for you to understand NDC and to understand how to make a Qantas booking through NDC in Travelport and to take it through Consolidated Travel Group. So before I start here, I might as well comment on this amazing incentive that we're just running now. So from today until the 31st of August, we're running an NDC incentive. So step one is that you have to attend this NDC webinar. And step two is that you have to make a booking via NDC to be in the chance to win. And all the first 100 bookings will get a $100 Visa card. And the agent that books the most NDC bookings throughout the incentive period will get a $2,000 Qantas travel voucher. So $100 per booking for the first 100 bookings and $2,000 to the agent with the most bookings. So a fantastic incentive that we're running up until the end of August. So please jump on board, make a booking, and the $100 should be yours. So if you make one straight after this webinar, you got a good chance of getting $100, which would help in these days, I think, for everyone. So I thought I'll start with just talking a little bit about NDC. And before I do that, I just want to mention that you cannot unmute yourself, unfortunately, through this webinar. So if you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat box and we'll answer them along the way or in the Q&A towards the end. Okay, so about NDC, why are we transitioning to NDC? Well, basically, we're replacing technology that's starting to get outdated. So replacing legacy technology with technology that meets the modern retailing expectations. The NDC actually stands for New Distribution Capability. I've heard a lot of funny names for it, but that's what it actually means. And, you know, we've been relying on Edifact for a very long time, but now we're moving over to more modern ways of transmitting data, which is NDC. So a bit of a history lesson here. So back in the 60s, the first airline, or the first carrier, actually signed an agreement with the GDS. And in 1970, we signed our first agreement with the GDS. In 1988, Edifact standard was developed, so it's quite old now. 1995, Internet Explorer launched and Qantas.com launched. 2012, IATA released the first NDC standard and the transition to NDC began. 2018, Qantas distribution platform launched, and that's just a fancy word for Qantas NDC. So it's just a brand we put on Qantas NDC, QDP, or Qantas distribution platform. In 2022, we introduced lower pricing through NDC. So that's currently on domestic, trans-Tasman and code share flights with Emirates. And in 2024, we achieved full NDC servicing capability. So how is NDC different to traditional GDS? Well, traditionally, we would distribute our fares, our schedules, and availability through the GDS to travel agents. The GDS was responsible for creating the offer and booking on behalf of Qantas. Today, through NDC, our version of NDC is an offer and order management system. So it enables us to create and distribute the offer and order to the agent via a tech partner, such as Travelport. So we still offer the fares to schedules and availability, but we can do much, much more, such as merchandising, more rich content, and customer data, such as frequent flyer details. So QDP, as I mentioned, is a Qantas NDC offer. We started developing that back in 2018 to be a leading retailing, booking and servicing engine. So we focus on shopping, unique offers and servicing. So servicing is very important to us. We've enhanced and streamlined servicing to make sure that we deliver an exceptional customer service experience and increasing self-service. So there's less manual handling, which should save time for agents and avoid manual work. So in terms of delivering an enhanced shopping experience, through NDC, we can actually offer a price guarantee. So the price is guaranteed for up to 5 days after the booking is created. That includes the fare and the tax. Through Edifact, there was no guarantee. So as an agent, you'll have to reprice all the Edifact bookings prior to ticketing. So I think that's a huge benefit to have that guarantee for 5 days. We also offer brand-based shopping, so you can shop and receive the best price across all fare brands, whereas that wasn't possible in Edifact. You can also shop using the Qantas frequent flyer number, so you can see the customer's points, status credits, and you can choose an itinerary based on a bonus offer that may appear based on that individual person's status. That was not possible through Edifact, so that's another benefit with NDC. You can also use a QSI number, which is the corporate number for corporate agreement codes. So that makes it easier to capture the booking for reporting. So a little bit more about the price guarantee. We call it a price guarantee TTL, but basically the price is guaranteed for 5 days. So if the agent tickets before 5 days, the price is guaranteed. If the agent tickets after 5 days, there's a reprice required. If you as an agent ticket after 30 days, then the order has expired and the ticket is not permitted. Now, branded versus itinerary pricing. So branded pricing is possible. Previously, you could not mix and match the flights and fare families, whereas now you can select and make a selection by bound and fare family. And in addition to that, you can access a whole range of unique offers. So in addition to the traditional ancillaries that you have booked, we have a whole range of new unique offer through Qantas NDC, including flying carbon neutral. We have QFF price offers, bonus offers, bonus points offers, bonus status credit offers, bonus savings for QBR members. There'll be price offers, including domestic return offers, paid seat offers, companion fare offers, and dynamic commissions. And servicing, another very important enhancement is servicing, of course, through NDC. So we now offer automated refunds. So through NDC, refunds are calculated and presented automatically by us, where it was manually calculated and processed by the agent through Edifact. In terms of credit on hold, the ticket credits can be used to automatically determine any additional fare and taxes on the new itinerary, whereas it was a manual process before. Voluntary changes, there's now a simplified process for changing bookings, including multiple flight options and automated calculation of the extra fare and taxes, whereas before that was semi-automated. And voluntary changes, it's now a seamless process to manage bookings, including alternative flight options and automated waiver, whereas before that was, again, a manual process. In terms of commercial policy management, automatic waiver of change fee and additional fare and taxes when commercial policy applies. That's possible now, whereas previously it was a manual process to remove the change fee and additional fare and taxes. And of course, Qantas NDC is available through a range of tech partners, including Travelport. And very important to mention, we also have a capability listing available through QAC online. So through that capability listing, which is updated weekly, you can see every capability that we've developed and where your tech partner is up to with that capability, whether they have developed it, and where they're up to basically with their development. So just to reiterate the amazing offer that we have at the end, of course, 100 Visa cards for the first 100 bookings, and they are worth $100 each. And there's also a $2,000 Qantas travel voucher for the agent with the most bookings. And thank you. And now I will hand over to Fiona to take it from there.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm just going to share now my screen. Be one moment. All right. Just start my slideshow. All right. Thanks, Thomas. Just trying to get rid of that thing. There we go. All right. I'm not at one with Zoom. So anybody who's come to the Travelport training of mine, we use WebEx. So forgive me if I'm a little bit slow off the mark. All right. Let's have a look at Qantas NDC. So these are the things I'm just going to go over. We're going to have a little overview from a GDS standpoint of what NDC is all about. We're going to look at important information. I'm going to point out the user guide. We're going to look at the recommended workflows for agents, and then I'm going to go in and demonstrate making and modifying a booking. We'll also talk about missed TTLs, NDC schedule changes. You're going to be so sick of listening to my voice at the end of this. Modification, post-ticket issuance, and dividing and canceling NDC bookings. And of course, we'll have Q&A. All right, so as Thomas mentioned, what is NDC? So NDC stands for New Distribution Capability, as he mentioned. It is a communication standard, and it was created by IATA to let airlines bring the rich content and to us, to the TMCs and the OTAs and travel agencies. It also is aimed at, as Thomas again mentioned, it's aimed at replacing the old Edifact fare, which is the electronic files that we receive every 59 minutes with as a GDS from the airlines. And as he mentioned, this was something that came out in the 80s. It is becoming outdated, which is why there's this push for NDC. Now, here's the important thing at the present time. If you think about Edifact's booking as the cold water tap, and the new hot kid on the block is NDC booking. So Edifact and NDC are two separate taps. And currently at the present time, there is no mixer tap. The plumber hasn't made the right mixer tap yet, but it is coming. All right, so it is very, very important at this time to make sure that if you make a booking in NDC, all of the maintenance must be done through the plugin. So that is your booking, the modification, ticketing, canceling, refunding, voiding. Everything needs to be done through that app. And I will reiterate this throughout, because actually when I first started testing NDC 2 years ago, I made the mistake of going XI. And that'll just give you mixed messages and canceled. It's just, don't go there, is my words to you. All right, so in my Travelport, which I hope everybody's using, my Travelport, there is an NDC user guide. Now, this is quite a fast-changing landscape that we're in with NDC. I haven't made a lot of resources simply because it is so fast-changing. So I want to point you to the NDC user guide. This is where you will find all things regarding NDC, and it is updated all the time. So the NDC user guide, if you go into my.travelport.com and simply type in NDC user guide, in there you'll find a wealth of information regarding NDC. There's also specific airline information for Qantas. If you want to jot down that KB article number, you certainly can. And there's also reference material in there. So you can see a reference chart and it tells you what the capabilities are, or as Thomas says, they also have one on their website. All right. So the recommended workflow is if you use a back office system where you can import a file or GDS. If you have profiles built in our GDS, you can import your client profile, search and select your preferred offer. Notice they're called offers and not airfares. And then you are either going to book and hold and use the Qiktravel interface for your ticket issuance. If you don't have a profile, not to worry. You can manually input the information in your app, or because I'm a bit of a lazy queen, what I like to do, you can also just put in your fields. So in the shell of the PNR, before you open up the app, you can put in the name field, your phone number, and your email, and that'll all get transferred through once you open up the plugin or the app. And once again, you're going to book and hold, and then use the interface Qiktravel to issue the ticket. All right, so I'm going to demo making an NDC booking on the millions of windows I have open. All right, so first of all, I'm going to import, actually, I'm not going to import a file. Let's just do this. So I am going to book myself and my husband. He's allowed to come on a trip with me because he's been so good. Oops, sorry about this. All righty. There we go. And I will just pop in a phone number as well. So I'm going to put in the phone number. I'll make it a mobile. And I'll also pop in an email address. Now, again, you can fill this in the plugin. There we go. All right. Now, there's 3 ways to launch the plugin within Travelport. Actually, there's 4 ways. So the first thing you can do is you can come up to your search. You can go down to flight shopping search. And in that flight shopping search, if there is NDC content available, then an N will appear. I'll just demonstrate that now for you. Let's come to Auckland. You can come to Auckland and see me. You can grow web feet like I have from all the rain we've been having. 18 September. I'll just show you in here. So if there is content available, NDC content available, then when the flight shopping search comes up, and it hasn't worked on here, usually it has an N in here, and that will indicate that there is content available. Oh, that's really interesting. One moment, why is that not? One moment, I'm just going to restart. Sorry, I have been having some issues today since the CrowdStrike incident happened on Friday. So I'm just going to restart. Please bear with me for just a moment. Any questions in the chat or anything, Thomas, that I need to answer?
No, there's no questions yet, Fiona.
Thank you.
All good. Yeah, I think we all had a few issues on Friday and over the weekend with
there we go.
CrowdStrike. So
yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm still feeling the pain today. All right, so you have your flight shopping search. You can also do your flight A or your flight search or Alt A, or I'll just show you the flight shopping search again. Let me just replay that. Of course. This will work this time. Some weird things that have been happening today, just little weird things. There we go. So this shows it better. So you can see here there is an N, which indicates that there is some NDC content. So that's one way you can do it. The other way, if you want to go directly into the app, you can do Alt A or flight search. And the last way you can do it is by a quick command of NDC app, and that will open up the plugin. One moment. Go. Okay, now when you open up the plugin, initially I've already logged in today, but when you first log in the morning, you will be validated through my Travelport credentials. So it'll ask you to sign into my Travelport. You only have to do that once a day, unless of course you time out or you sign out. So let's have a look at this. This is my flight shopping search window. In here, I can either put in the city code or I can type it in. So let me try and type it. There it is, Sydney, or I can just put in SYD. And we're going to come to Auckland. Oops. Auckland. I can click on the date to bring up a calendar, or I can just simply type the date in. I will put in a time. 8 o'clock. And coming back to Sydney, I'll come back on the 8th. And I want to come back later in the day. Alrighty, now in here, I need to adjust to 2 adults. And I also need to select my airline. In this case, it's going to be Qantas. And over here, I can either do exclude or only or preferred. I can ask it for a number of stops. So I want nonstop, of course. And if you do have some private fares, you just need to hit this drop-down box and you can select. If I click on private fares, then you'll see that these boxes open up. Now, as just a note, if you do have your Qantas account code, it does need to be in the shell of the PNR before you launch your search. I'll just send this back to public. There we go. So if you have a corporate agreement number, it does need to be in the shell before you launch the search. Same with the membership. So if you had either of these, this would no longer be grayed out and you could click and add that in there. We don't usually use abominant numbers here. That's a Europe thing. You can select your classes of travel. And in here, you can either do preferred or only. And you can also do popular preferences. So I'm not going to put any popular preferences in. Let's just go ahead and do the search. Now, this window can be pinned and unpinned. If you want to unpin it, just click on it and then click over to where you want to view the full screen. So this is telling me that I have 3 flight options. And in here, I can sort these options either from shortest to longest journey time, irrelevant in this case, earliest to latest, and latest to earliest. Also on here, if I come over to this side over here, it gives me a little overview of what I have and what I get. So this tells me it's a public fare, content source is NDC, I get a carry-on bag, a check bag. It's not refundable, but I can make changes. Also talks about mileage accrual and emission. And over here, if I click on here, it gives me the rules. Now, not all of the full rules. It is essentially category 16, which is your cancellation, penalty, and your change fees. Right, and each one of these, of course, changes with when I'm clicking on here. So that's 1055, that's 1265. So I'm happy with the 910. And I can also look at pricing. So it tells me there's my base fare. I have 2 adults. So just note that when I'm looking for 2 adults, these offers here are for 2 people, not 1, they're for 2 people. So if I want the individual fare, here's the individual fare. So it's 300, there's all my taxes, and the individual fare, including taxes, is for adult 1 is there, and adult 2 is also there. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and then it's going to bring me up my options for the return portion. So coming back, I have 2 options at 6:45 or 16:05, and I'm going to select the 16:05. Actually, the other thing that I'll show you that I forgot to show you on here is you can also look at more brands for each of these flights. So if I click on here, it'll show me all the possible brands that are available. I can have economy, economy saver, and economy flex. What else do I want to show you? I'll actually just book this one. There we go. Okay, so in here, because I had put information in the shell of the PNR, it's automatically populated over here, as you can see. I'm not going to put any delivery information in. You can see anything that has the asterisk is the mandatory information. I can also add my documentation of passports. I don't need to if I'm just holding the flight. And if I come down here, in here, I can view the rules. Again, just category 16 at this point. You can see here, it tells me my booking. It tells me that the QF offer expires in 19 minutes and 22 seconds. And that it needs to be issued no later than the 24th at 02:25. And again, I can come down here and see my price details. I'll come back to seats and special requests in just a moment. There's my itinerary details. You can see I have the booking class and my fare basis in here. Also my baggage allowances and coming back as well. Now I'm just going to go into seats and let's add some seats. So I'm going to click on here, the plus, and add some seats. There we go. So it is paid seats, and I am going to make a sit like here. You can have the middle seat because it's all about me. And then I'll come to the return flight by clicking on the city pair up above, and I'll also book seats there. So it's a total of $60, and I'm just going to save that. Excuse me. So you can see in here that it is that it's now been saved. Alrighty, and I will pop in a form of payment as well. And let's also do some other requests. Actually, I'll do that afterwards. Yeah, let me just go ahead, and here you can see the options. I can either hold or ticket. Because I'm using Consolidated Travel, I'm going to just hold it because I'm going to use their interface to issue the ticket. Any questions, Thomas? How are we going?
I think we're going pretty well. There is one question here. I did an NDC booking through the NDC app last night, and the membership data was grayed out and didn't allow me to input. Why would this be?
Okay, yeah, good question. The reason is that needs to be in the shell of the PNR before you open up the offers. So if it's grayed out, it means that so if you don't have a profile, what I'd recommend doing is putting in the passenger name and adding the mileage in the GDS and then launching your offers, and then it will show up.
Perfect,
So
thank you.
No problem. I can show you if we have time afterwards. All right,
And
so
there was just one more. Okay, no, it's been taken offline. All good.
All right, excellent. Okie dokie. So you can see here now that I've actually held this booking, it's really important that you read these. I know it's really easy for myself, who's not a great reader, just to flick by the, really important to read these. It's basically telling me about my credit card payments, telling me about my frequent flyer program, and it's also telling me to remember to complete by the ticketing time limit. Now, if I go back in and view this booking, which I'm going to do now by clicking on view booking, you can see there's my Galileo record locator. And if I come into here, I can see my flights. Again, I can view the rules. Should have a few more rules now. One moment. Oh, now it also has my ticketing in there. Also in here, it tells me the price is guaranteed until the 23rd at $14.25. I have no tickets in here. There's all my flight information once again, has my seat selection in here. And just note that everything to do with this booking is captured in something called invoice remarks, or DI lines. So if I click on here, I can see my DI lines. So that tells me my Qantas record locator. This tells me my base fare per person plus taxes, total taxes. Then it gives me a breakdown of all the taxes for both passengers. One second here. Let me see if I can stretch that out a bit. Let me just move this over. There we go. It also, so that's passenger 1 and passenger 2. It goes through exactly the same information. Gives me the flight information in a linear format. So departing at 0910 and 1405. And it has my flight number there and the booking code. Gives me my fare basis, when the reservation was confirmed, and my ticketing time limit. Now, this is a new enhancement that has just come out. You can actually add a remark here now. It's a notepad remark. You can add in account details, agent sign-on, fare savings, and also free text. So I may just put in here, PAX offered insurance and has declined. And that'll be added, time and date stamped. Now, it's really important when you see this, when you're working, just to make sure before you go on and do your next transaction in the app, just make sure that this is completely gone, that little counting bar. There we go. You can also add OSI. This is another new enhancement just over the weekend. You can do, or maybe middle last week, you can add OSI. So if I wanted to let the airline know that my passenger is a VIP of his world, just because he's my husband, he's the VIP of his world. And I could just add it in there. And you can also add in review booking file remarks. So as soon as that finishes, I'll just show you there. So in here, I don't know if you use them or not. Review booking file remarks is really, really handy to leave yourself messages. So for instance, I can leave myself a message maybe for tomorrow, and I'll do that in the morning at 8:32 to be precise. And I'll pop it on my queue, 55. I don't have a category. I will put in my pseudo city number, and then I'm just going to put check if PAX needs hotel. So that'll drop onto my queue at that specific date and time, And then I can see, oh, yep, let me call the passenger, see if he needs a hotel. So those are two new enhancements. Go. Just coming in now. There we go. And again, I can go in here, and if I go all the way down to the bottom, there's my notepad remark. Now I'm going to come out of the plugin and just show you what's happening in the background. So a PNR has been created in the GDS. Note that these are passive segments, so they're ZK. It also gives you this warning telling you that this is an NDC booking and that everything needs to be done through the app. Now, again, there's been a lot. This is really, as I mentioned, a fast changing landscape. There's been some enhancements already. Number one, you now have a filed fare. You didn't have that before. Everything was in the DI lines. And this is hyperlinked. It's not functioning now to check your fare rules, but I do believe it's coming. But you can see your filed fare in here. What else do you have in here? You can see your notepad remarks. Whoops. One moment. Oh, no, notepad remarks, sorry. No, you can only see them in the app, that's right. And then, of course, you have your DI lines. You can also view them in here. And my review booking file, which is just at the bottom there. Now, the one important thing to note here is it doesn't automatically update your ticketing date. So if you do want this to drop on your queue, you need to just pop in. Let me just switch these other things off here. You just need to pop into here and just update this. So it needs to be issued on the 23rd. So I'm going to put this so it drops onto my queue tomorrow morning. You can also do it in a cryptic manner. And I'm going to save that. So now it's going to drop on my queue tomorrow morning. And I'm also just going to make sure that I ER that so I have it. So now my ticketing date is in there. Any questions about that? All good. So just to note, we do have, I call them traffic lights because I'm a simple girl. So orange indicates that your booking is on hold. Green indicates that your booking has been ticketed, and gray indicates that it has been canceled. So those are your main traffic lights. All right, what happens if you miss the TTL? Ooh, what happens? Okay, first of all, your file will be queued to Q23. You will notice immediately that you have no flight segments. They've all been canceled. You've got the gray traffic light. And if you go in your DI lines, you will see that it has a note at the bottom that your reservation has been canceled. So it always goes to Q23. All righty. Now, what if they've changed their mind? Oops, they've changed their mind. Now, this is pre-ticketing, of course. So with Qantas, you can change your flight dates, times, and routes. They can be changed before ticket issuance, no problem. Just note that Qantas, you are permitted up to up to 7 modifications in total. And that includes pre and post and voluntary and involuntary changes. 7 would be hard pressed to get up to 7, but that is with Qantas. And also just remember, if you forget to put your private account code in, I mean, Thomas, you may have more insight on this than me. We advise them either to cancel the booking and make a new booking, and don't reuse that shell. Anytime you cancel a booking, make a brand new booking. And don't forget to reapply your code, or perhaps you can go to QAC. I'm not sure, Thomas, if you would have that information. We advise them if they can just to cancel and make a new one, and make a brand new one. Do not reuse that shell. Right. Now, just note, when you are modifying a booking, it will reprice the entire journey. So it's not going to rebook it, but it is going to reprice the entire journey. And if necessary, it will rebook it. So let's go in and modify this booking. So I'm just going to ignore this. And they have decided to come back a day later. So I'm just going to bring up the booking in the GDS. Here we go. And I'm going to click on my traffic light to open up the booking in the app. Here we go. All right, so that's my booking. I'm just going to click on here for the reservations. And when I click on there, we can see that I have 2 options to cancel. Well, I have 3. I can issue the ticket, I can change the booking, or cancel the booking. In this case, I'm going to change the booking. And what that does is open up this search box, and you can see that the ND search box has little brackets with a word in saying modify. So we know that this is for modification, and it'll also populate all of the information from your current booking. So let's say they want to come back on the 9th, same time. I've just input the 9th, and I'm going to go ahead and do the search. Just click on the big screen. There we go. So it's repricing both the outbound and the inbound. So they want to come back at the 9th at the 405. So this is the one I'm after, 910 out and 405. And I'm just going to go ahead and select that. As this turns out, it is exactly the same fare. And I'm going to confirm and hold. And I'll sing to you. There we go. Again, just note that you have information here. Let me just go back into the booking. It tells me my fare, my seats. I need to redo my seats, of course, on the return now. So I'm going to open this up and view the booking. There we go. What did I want to show you on here? Oh, that's right. I want to show you the invoice remarks. So again, remember that everything is captured in the DI line. So it will capture in here my modification information. So it starts on line 16, goes through all my modification information. And if you go down here, it tells me my original flights, my new flights, my total, my fare basis for both of the sectors. And there you can see there's my seats. So I'm going to go back in and redo my seats for my return. Just click on here again. It's just gathering that seat information now. We already have those ones. These are the ones we want. And again, I will save it. Now, just as a note, when you do get the ticket issued, the EMDs are automatically issued for payment. So it's done automatically in one process. All right. So it is quite simple with that. I do a series of webinars each month. So regarding changes and voids and all that thing, all those sort of things. Oops, I did not want to do that. I was having that as a backup. All right, so let's get that ticket issued. Woohoo, let's get the ticket issued. So what you're going to do is you're always going to book and hold. You're going to either queue it to your consolidator or use your standard process that you do with Consolidated Travel, and that is via Qiktravel. Again, just note all your booking data is going to be displayed in the DI line. So your fares, your taxes, any modifications, all your booking information, your booking code, your fare basis, all that good stuff is in there. All right, so just to recap, create the PNR. You can either do your flight search or NDC app to bring up the plugin, and then you fill out all this information. Either move your profile in or add your customer details. Add your form of payment, select hold, and then access through Qiktravel. Now, e-ticket information, the plugin icon will show green after it's been issued by Qiktravel. And in there, you will see, well, actually, we have an HTI and an HTE that has just been added in the last 2 months as well. So you can look at your mask and you can look at your TINS data. It's also reflected as well in your DI lines. Just note that this ticket number in your DI lines will contain the check digit. So just be aware of that, especially if you're using Qantas, putting stuff in for credit. Just note that last number is the check digit. So there you can see the HTI, the TINS data, and there's your ticket mask. Modifications post ticket issuance. Again, you're going to search and book new flights in Qiktravel and reissue the ticket in Qiktravel. Again, all the booking data will be displayed in the DI lines once again, but that is going to be your process. Schedule changes. Alrighty, so schedule changes for NDC bookings will appear on Q11. So you will see here, it tells you, I can't get rid of this thing at the top. Can I move that? Oh, I can too. That's pretty exciting. All right. So it says here, PNR contains segments, which we know are NDC, but it also tells us that content has changed and that it must be serviced via the plugin. All right. So when you click on this to open it up, two things happen. You'll first of all get a banner telling you what the changes are. Right, there it is there. You'll get a warning banner. Just note that that warning banner will only appear the first time you access it in the plugin. You'll also notice once you open up that plugin that your flights will then be synced in the background. And of course, all of that information regarding the schedule changes will again be updated in your DI lines. All right, so here's it says here's an example of one. Itinerary modified involves sched change, and then it goes through all of the details. Any questions, Thomas? I usually get a lot of questions about this part. Any questions?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of questions, but I think maybe for the interest of the flow of things, maybe we'll just go through some of the questions afterwards.
Sure. No problem. That sounds good. No problem at all. Alrighty, and just note, once again, the banner is removed after the official notification and does not display again when you open up the booking file. All right, what if the client does not accept the changes? You're going to get a waiver code from Qantas, make the changes in Travelport, and either queue your booking via Qiktravel, enter the waiver code in Qiktravel remark box. And I think Olivia is going to go over this in more detail with you. And then the Consolidated Travel team will reissue that ticket for you. Important tip, make sure you get that waiver code from Qantas first. All right, I'm just going to now look at demo divide and also canceling a PNR. So you can divide a PNR both pre and post ticket. Whoops. Oh, sorry, I'll just go in and do that. Dan has been an awful husband, so he's now staying home. He's not coming with me. I'm going shopping. So I am going to retrieve the PNR in the GDS as usual. Open up the booking using the plugin by clicking on my traffic light. Just retrieving that booking now. There we go. So let's say that she wants to go visit her Aunt Maud for another week. So we need to divide these off. So up here under those three little dots, it says booking file options. I'm going to click and it's going to say divide booking file. I'm going to divide Daniel off. So in here, it tells me all associated traveler information, SSRs, membership numbers, etc., will be transferred with the selected person. So I'm going to divide myself off. He's on his own. And I'm going to simply click on divide. It gives me a warning saying the division of the booking file cannot be undone. Are you sure you want to divide this booking? And I'm going to say, of course, I'm sure. So I'm going to go ahead and divide it. It's just doing that division now. Just doing it. I can sing to you again if you want. I can sing my national anthem. There we go. Yay. All right. So it tells me a new booking file has been created for Fiona Coyle. And do I wish to go to the new booking or go back to the original file? So I'm going to go to the new booking. Now, just one thing to note in here. Just going to go in here to my DI lines. Any information regarding the divide order. Just going to find it in here. Down here. Here it is. The divide order information will only appear on the person who has been divided. So that's all my information for the divided passenger. If I want to go back to the other passenger, just like in the GDS where you have the display Delta Victor, you also have your associated booking files in here. You go up to your three dots and down to associated booking files. And if I click on that, it will then retrieve the other part of the divided passenger. Just note that this divided passenger will not have any remarks. The remarks only go with the person who has been divided off, not with the person who was divided from, if that makes sense. Alrighty, and actually he's decided not to go at all anymore. So all I'm going to do once again, actually, let's cancel Fiona. Let's cancel Fiona. So again, I'm going to retrieve my PNR in the GDS. Open up my plugin. She's not going at all any longer. This is all, of course, pre-ticket. And all I'm going to do is simply click on cancel booking. It tells me that this is an unticketed booking. Only the segments related to this reservation will be canceled for the associated travelers. And I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that booking now. There we go. It tells me my flights have been successfully canceled. If I click on here, the reservations, it doesn't show any reservations. If I go into my invoice remarks and right down to the bottom, it'll tell me time and date stamped that the reservation was canceled. And if I come out of here, I can see I have no flights reflected in the PNR anymore, and that has turned to gray. Okay, so use Qiktravel to action the following items: cancel and refund, cancel and void, cancel and credit, QF only, of course. You can put the ticket into credit. As the ticket issuer, the consolidator must action all of those above items. All right, so we can open it up if you want now, Thomas. Any questions? I'll open up the chat too now.
Yes, we do have quite a few questions coming through, Fiona.
Okie dokie.
First one is, when there is a schedule change in standard booking, it will be TK and we need to accept the change in HK, the booking. Do we need to accept time changes in NDC?
Okay, so what happens, it's kind of it's a little bit of a double edge. Basically, if I go, I'll just go back to this quickly just to show you. So when you get the schedule change in on that Q11, so I'll just go back here to show you. Here we go. When you get that schedule change in on Q11, you don't know what the schedule change is until you open it up in the app. When you open it up in the app, that is your acceptance of the schedule change, and this is automatically synced. If your client does not accept the change, then you need to get the waiver code and reissue the ticket. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't know what the schedule change is until you open it up in the app, and once you open it up in the app, then your flights are synced to the new flight information.
Perfect. Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you.
Another one is, do you need to go into the booking to cancel, or can we just cancel flights in Galileo?
No, absolutely, absolutely, 100%. Everything needs to be done through the app. If you cancel it in Galileo, you may find that it may not cancel in Qantas because they're passive segments, and then you may be liable for some payment. So really important. If you make a booking in the app, everything needs to be done in that app. Canceling, okay, modification, everything.
Thank you. I think you just answered another question here. Can we change date on GDS after ticket issued? So I think you just answered that.
Computer says no. Any other questions?
Can FOP be modified before ticket issue?
On Qantas, yes, it can.
Okay, excellent. Can you add extra bags?
Not at present time.
But in the future?
Yep, I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, not through the app. You can still add it through, your QAC, but at the app at this time, no.
Excellent. And how do we add in QF business rewards numbers to the booking?
Business reward numbers to the booking. You mean
yes.
the frequent flyer?
QBR, it's our Qantas business rewards number for certain corporate clients.
Is that over and above their corporate number for their? So is that over and above? I'm just going to bring this up quickly. That's up over and above their corporate agreement number. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I am going to need to get back to you on that. So the business
Yep.
rewards, I don't think it's a functionality, but I will double check and get back to you. Business
Okay,
rewards.
excellent. Thank you. Okay. I think that is all for now. I'll just one more.
Yep.
If it's auto synced, sorry, there's just a few popping in now.
Yeah, that's okay.
If it auto syncs when you're open to view the schedule change, how do we let PAX know that the schedule change is without accepting it?
Well, you need to tell them what they have been changed to, and then if they don't accept it, you need to go get the waiver code and get it reissued.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
And
Fiona, just to confirm, so I think what they're asking is, you know how you were saying that if they open the plugin, that will automatically accept the change?
Correct.
So, yeah, what they're asking is how do they know what the time has changed to before they accept that change? So how do they know what to tell?
There is no way.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that is the only way. That's what I mean. It's like a double-edged sword. You don't know what the time is until you open it, and when you open it, that's your acceptance of it.
Oh, and that's why you need the waiver code
Correct.
to reissue the ticket. Right. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
okay, I think that's all the questions we have for now.
Alrighty, thank you everybody for listening to my dulcet tones, and I will hand you back to Thomas. Thanks everybody.
Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you.
Olivia, do you have anything to add for us?
Yep, sorry, just unmuting myself. All right, let me share my presentation.
Do I need to stop sharing?
I think so, yes.
Sorry, I'm getting at one with this. Okay, stop sharing. I don't know how to stop sharing. Oh, there it is. Big button that says stop share. How about that? There we go.
That works.
They don't learn as well in Canada.
Give me one moment. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Oh. So just want to touch on a few points where there are scenarios where you will need to complete the process. You've done the work in Travelport Plus and you need to finish it off in Qiktravel. So let us have a look. So I think it crashed. So for new tickets, you will come to Qiktravel to finish off the process. And for involuntary schedule changes, you will do the reshop in Travelport Plus. No, yes. Let's assume here. Am I back?
Yes, you're all good.
Sorry, just keep popping up an error message. All right, so for involuntary schedule changes to Avard Qiktravel, and then the consolidated team will complete that for you. For voluntary reissues, void and refund, you process in Qiktravel. So let's have a look at how you do these in Qiktravel. Now within Qiktravel, you go to action booking for any new tickets, reissuing or revalidation, or to queue PNR to the consolidated team. So after you create the order in Travelport Plus, you would then come to Qiktravel, go to action booking, select the ticketing PCC, put in your PNR, and select issue ticket XD action, and you retrieve the PNR. You check the order details and also select the form of payment, and this must be the same as what you've selected in the GDS. When you're ready, click on Fulfilled NDC, and the ticket will be issued for you. And you can see the ticket number here And you will also receive an email confirmation if that's what you've set up in Qiktravel. For involuntary schedule changes, as Fiona has touched on, please go to Qantas to get your waiver code first, and then you book your new flights in Travelport Plus and come to Qiktravel. Once again, go to Action Booking, select your ticketing pseudo, put in the PNR, and this time you select QPNR and retrieve the PNR. Check that the flights, select reissue for schedule changes. That's the Q reason. Select the original ticket number, and then check that the flights are what you wanted. Please remember to always put in your waiver code in the remarks box and upload any attachments that you need to send through to the team. And once you're ready, queue the PNR over, and the team will receive it and action it for you. Now, after you've queued it over, you can then track the progress via Track Queues, which is on the left-hand menu here. So there are 3 ways of searching. One is with either the passenger name, the relog, or the ticket number. The other is going by the date of submitting the request. Or you can also filter by or search by the status. Please also remember that there are 2 options within Qiktravel where you can bring up your own request or request by other staff as well. And once you click on search, it will then bring up the results. Then you can check the status of your request here. And to view queue details, you can then go to the action menu on the right to click on that. Now, coming to voluntary reissues, you can go to Action Booking, select the ticketing pseudo once again, retrieve the PNR, and this time we're selecting Reissue. You select the sector that you want to change, and you can then amend the details here. So for example, here we are changing from Melbourne to Sydney and also changing the departure date. When you click on search flight, you will see the different offers. You can then open them up to see which one suits your passenger. And when you're ready, you click on select offer. Then you review the NDC price summary, select the form of payment, and click reissue. You will then see the new ticket number, as well as EMDs, which is for the penalties or any additional fees. Now, as with all developments, it's always never 100% in the beginning. So in case you do get an error, please click on the report error, which will show up across the page. And you can also queue it to our fares and ticketing team for assistance. Now, for the next 2 processes, they will be done via managed bookings in Qiktravel. So most of you will be familiar with this area because this is where you will go to manage the tickets that you've issued with us. To void a ticket, you search for the PNR, and then you click on the action column, which is the 3 dots on the right. And then you will see a pop-up showing the ticket number. Check that these are the tickets that you want to void, and you click on void. Now you'll see a green pop-up confirming that the order has been voided successfully. And you can come back to the managed booking stream to see that the status has changed. Now, please note that with NDC, you will be voiding the whole order, not individual tickets. Coming to voluntary refund, once again, you will search and retrieve the PNR under managed booking. And you will also go to the action button on the right. And this time we're selecting process refund. Now you can then check all the penalties here and the refund amount. And once you're ready, you click on process order. And same with voiding an NDC order, the whole order must be refunded. So you can't refund individual tickets. Once that's processed, we can then come back to the confirmation screen, and then you can then see that the status is showing as refunded. So all this information, including today's webinar, will be uploaded to the Qiktravel online help. Our team continue to work closely with both Travelport and Qantas to make our Qiktravel available for a lot of the NDC features, and the availabilities of the features will be listed on the Qiktravel online help when they are available. And this is how you can access the help content here. And thank you all for your time. So if you have any questions after the webinar, please send them to our inside sales team. We'll be collecting all the questions, and we will work with both Travelport and Qantas to get the answers, and we'll come back to you. Now, let me pass you back to Thomas.
Thank you, Olivia. That was great. And thank you to Fiona and Amina as well for joining us. Very good presentations, and we will collate all the questions as Olivia mentioned and get back to you all on those questions. And also, I just wanted to reiterate at the end about the incentive that we're running up until the end of August. So you can make a booking, an NDC booking and ticket through Consolidated Travel up until the end of August, and you will get a $100 Visa card if you are one of the first 100 bookings. And if you make the most bookings, then you will also get a $2,000 Qantas travel voucher. So please jump on board, make a booking, and we will all do the best we can to assist you. If there's any issues along the way, we'll be here to help you. So thanks for joining, and happy booking.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.